I'm Frankie Ward. The PC Gaming
Oh.
Show is just a few minutes away where we'll reveal all new trailers and gameplay footage you haven't seen before for the first time. But before we get started, here's a warm-up. The Great PC Gaming Quiz brought to you by Drake's Cakes. And to help me get through the next 10 minutes of tough trivia, I've got my buddy Webster. Are you ready, Webster?
Who are you again?
Let's see how well you know your PC gaming history.
I
and
don't.
If you're watching along at home, chime in the chat with your answer. Which of these classic sci-fi games is set furthest in the future? Is it A, Doom, B,
Fuck knows.
C, Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, or D, Wing Commander?
This is gonna be painful.
And the answer, I have a feeling that Webster might have written this question himself, is Wing Commander. And Webster would love to hear your fan theories about how all these games exist in the same timeline. I feel like you fixed this, Webster. Let's see if the next question is also bird-related. What Space Marine chapter is the main focus of the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War series? Is it A,
I haven't got a clue. Haven't got a
B,
clue.
Blood Angels, C, Blood Ravens, or D, Blood Tigers? And no, Webster, Blood Duck is not an option. The answer is
Just turn the
C,
fan off.
Blood Ravens. Believe it or not, those are all canonical chapter names. The Adeptus Astartes really like blood. Unlike Webster and myself here, we're very much...
Is she? I don't know. She kind of seems familiar.
Moving on to the next question. Which convention...
Whose idea was this bit here?
has the most health? Is it A, Avatar,
I
B,
don't know. I haven't
Octopod,
played the
C,
games.
Archon, or D, Gatekeeper? And the answer is B.
I should just go to
Septopod.
bed. I don't know
My
why I'm
least
doing
favourite
this.
kind of pod. Are you a Septopod
It's
fan,
dumb.
Webster?
I shouldn't be doing this.
Here's a duck
I'm an
in
idiot.
taste. Now, the next, possibly less tasty question. Known as the Clever Hound, this god in the Pillars of Eternity universe is the patron of hunters, explorers, and treasure seekers of all sorts. But is the answer A, Magran, B, Galawain, C, Eothas, or D, Barath? And yes, you do have the excuse to Barath me in chat if I pronounced any of those wrong. Webster, I'd like to see you have a go.
Wow.
The answer is Galawain, and hopefully you can help me find more time to finish Pillars 2. But we don't have time right now because we need to get on to the next question.
Fuck me.
Webster, next question. How long have we been waiting since the announcement of Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord?
Oh, fuck me.
3 years
They're
and
too
6
close
months,
together
B, 4 years
to tell.
7 months, C, 5 years 9 months, or D, 9 years and 2 months? Webster,
I'm gonna
think
do
we both know the
C.
answer is far too long. Guys, what have you been up to? The answer is
Yep.
C.
I
5
got-
years
I
and
got
9 months.
one
Now, thinking
right.
about it, I could have probably built an actual castle by now if I'd been thinking about it. In fact, Webster could have probably built a castle by now, and he doesn't even have hands. On to the next question. In the 2000 Japanese film Battle Royale that inspired the breakout game genre, what was used to make sure the competitors didn't break the rules? A, enforcer robots, B, force fields, C,
I'm gonna guess
exclusive
force
collars,
fields.
or D, the honor system. Webster, are you a Battle Royale fan? I definitely had you down as a boogie bomb dancer. But there you go. And the answer is C,
Oh.
the nasty sounding explosive collars. Webster, have you ever won a chicken dinner? They warned me about this before we started the shoot. I'm so sorry. We're just going to take a moment, but we'll be back with the next question.
He looks devastated.
Which of the following provinces of Tamriel in the Elder Scroll franchise has been the least explored? Is it A, High Rock, B, Elsewhere,
It's either B or C.
Valen Wood,
I'm gonna go
or
for
D,
B.
Black Marsh, which is I think where Webster heads when he's had a heavy day. The answer is D, Black Marsh,
Oh.
aka Webster's favourite hangout, and
Really?
hopefully we are going there soon. I'll go in and get my coat, shall I? Next question.
Oh fucking hell! This
Which
is
of these items
when
is
you've been
universally
up, when
considered
you've had
a
only 2 hours
life
sleep.
gift
This
by
is
all
not
villagers
really
in
the type
Stardew
of thing
Valley?
you want.
Is it A, maple syrup, B, rainbow shell, C, void mayonnaise,
I've got my feet
or
up on
D,
my desk.
prismatic shard?
I'm gonna fall asleep.
The answer is, of course, A, maple syrup. But Webster, what's your favourite gift? Ooh, a Drake's Devil Dog. Mine too.
A
Happy
what?
to know.
Is that American?
What is the name of the tallest building you can jump off of in Grand Theft Auto 5? Is it
I don't
A,
know that.
Mile High
And I
Cliff,
100%ed GTA
B,
5 and I
Rotterdam
don't know
Tower,
that.
C, Schomburg Saxon
I'm gonna say
or D,
D,
Maze Bank Tower?
but I don't know.
The answer is
Hey!
Maze
It just
Bank Tower.
that just
Which you might
sounded
know better
right.
as that one I always see in crazy base jumping videos on YouTube. And actually, Webster, while I've got you here, can ducks fly? Apparently so. The next question is, what is the highest price ever paid for a weapon skin in Counter-Strike?
You should not be fucking advocating this.
Is it A, $8,400, B, $12,900, C, $61,000, or D, $85,150?
I don't know. Oh,
Answer
C.
is C, $61,000.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes you want to put a down payment on the house. Other times, you just want the baddest looking AWP. Webster, you an AWP guy? I had you more down as a lurker myself.
What's a
I could
lurker?
be wrong, but I'm going to get this next question right.
Fucking
Which of
hell.
the following prehistoric beasts has not yet made an appearance in Ark?
Never
Survival
played it.
Evolved?
I don't know.
Is it A, Dimorphodon, B, Sarcosuchus, C, Megatherium, or D, Cynonaphus? I definitely got all of those right. Do not start going on Wikipedia and seeing if I'm right or not. That was definitely absolutely right, wasn't it, Webster? Yes, it was right. Yeah, I paid him handsomely in Drake's cakes. And the answer was, I might actually get Webster to pronounce this one. It was D. Did it much better than I ever could. I might actually just go and...
What was the
take off for today
fucking...
because we've got loads more
Am
dinosaur
I...
questions
Am
after
I...
this
I've just
one.
realised a minute that there's a
Cynonaphus.
fucking
Cynonaphus.
duck
Okay, next question.
with a
Telltale's The Wolf Among Us is based
Drake
on
chef
what
hat on.
series of
Am I
graphic
asleep? Am I dreaming?
A,
I think I'm asleep
fables,
already.
B, The Big Bad Wolf, C, Urban Myth, or D, Legends? The answer was A, Fables. Although part of me thought it was going to be Big Bad Duck because I'm getting chills here. What does a Big Bad Duck sound like, Webster?
He's got a fucking what's
Who is
what's
first
the
character
tie
you ever
neck
play as in the
thing?
original Call of Duty? A, Private Ramirez, B, Private
I never
Davis,
played the original.
C, Private Martin,
I never even played it when
D,
they
Private
put it on
Grant?
360.
The answer is C, Private Martin. And as far as we know, he doesn't have a second name. It's like Private Share, or even Private Webster. Who is the legit, actual, for real, no, for serious this time, final boss of the Binding of Isaac series? Is it A, Delirium, B, Conquest, C, Teratoma, or D, Mom?
I've got no idea. I played a lot of Binding of Isaac, but I got no idea. I got no idea how far I got into Binding of Isaac, even though I played it for 40 hours. And I'm
How
like,
did you do, Webster?
did I beat it? Did I? I don't know.
Well, thanks for helping me out.
I never
We
looked it
will
up.
see you later in the show,
Right, we
yeah?
got 25
Let's
seconds.
pass it off to the Wilton Theatre in Los Angeles because the PC gaming show is about to begin.
Oh God.
Do I have something on my face?
Oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
You've got something coming out your back as well. Drake's. Is that a sponsorship? I don't know what Drake's is. Is this going to be in the same vein as the other PC gaming shows? Just like interviewing the developers.
There is magic in PC gaming. It says, don't just obey the rules, rewrite them. It says, don't just listen to stories, inhabit them. It says, don't just accept the limits, overclock beyond them. It says, don't just play games, revel in them, unleash them. It says, seriously, is every game battle royale now? Or is it just me? From mountain
No, every game is battle royale. It just is.
From deep waters to deeper space. From solo quests to mass engagements. There is magic in PC gaming. Let's celebrate that magic together. This is the PC Gaming Show. And now your host, Sean Plott.
Is it day 9?
Oh, hello to
Hello
everyone
again.
online. Hello to everyone at the Will Turn. Welcome to the PC Gaming Show. Yes.
It's 3 o'clock
My
there.
name is Day 9. I'm your
It's 11
host
o'clock
today.
here.
I am delighted to be here. We have a fantastic show for you this afternoon. First, to all of you who came out to the Will Turn, thanks for joining us. The Will Turn is just a beautiful venue here in Los Angeles. To all of you online on Twitch, thanks for joining us. To those co-streaming partners, hey as well, I'm talking to you, Dropped Frames, great to have you here. And of course, to all the wonderful sponsors that help make the PC Gaming Show come back again for the 4th straight year. Now, good on you. Now, I'm not the only host here this year. I have my co-op partner up in the balcony. It's Frankie Ward joining us today.
Oh, there she is again.
Hey, Sean, I'm going to be
Where's
up
the
here in
duck?
the balcony with a bunch of creative new PC games coming your way. From Warfare's latest update to some offbeat indie gems.
Frankie, we are so excited for the show to get started. We have over 30 games we're going to be looking at across the next 90 minutes. So let's get it underway. Our very first title is from Coffee Stain Studios. Their game has absolutely massive construction as well as automation. Let's take a look at Satisfactory.
World exclusive. I've got to do the voice for it. I forgot to say that my birthday is in 57 minutes. I'll be 21. So is it just building stuff and crafting? What actual gameplay is there in this? other than, you know, building stuff. How do you get the resources to build stuff? Oh, hang on, there you go. No Man's Sky-esque, only without flying ship.
Joining me on the stage to talk about it.
They don't have a desk, so I'm hoping these talks are going to be slightly briefer than last time.
Come here, Oscar. Welcome to the stage. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, Oscar, I just want to begin right away by asking, what is Satisfactory all about?
Satisfactory is essentially about building these huge automated factories. So you play as an engineer that's been sent from Earth to this alien planet, and you're going to build this enormous machine. It was hinted at the end of the trailer there.
Yeah, yeah.
And to build that, you need a whole ton of parts, which you need to build machines that will make them for you. So you'll start out pretty simple with a few machines, and then you'll just expand and expand and expand until you finally need to start cutting down trees and replace them with like more convenient concrete.
And you know, for people who haven't played this type of game, can you give me an example of what producing a more advanced resource might look like?
Right. After a while, you'll need to create something more advanced, like a computer, for example. And at that point, you'll have some copper stuff set up, your wires and cables. But to make plastic, you need to get some oil.
What did Coffee Stain Studios make other than this? Did they make... I can't remember what they made. They make...
with self-driving vehicles between the outpost and your factory.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that
Goat Simulator?
Because, you know, there's a lot of games where
How do they go from that to this?
How much area are we talking about where all your factories will exist?
Oh, this factory will grow enormous. The main part, which will probably be the biggest, will start spreading more and more and more. Or in some cases, we'll have players just building these massive, tall buildings with factory floor upon factory floor. But including the resources that you need to gather from basically all around the map. Yeah. So you'll have vehicles driving all over.
Now, I want to ask about the first-person perspective because these types of games typically are top-down. Why first-person?
We want
to make it more frustrating to play.
And you know, when you've built a bunch of stuff, you can see these enormous buildings, these structures towering above you. But also when you go out and explore, you'll be the one, like, you go through the underbrush and in the jungles and whatever.
I mean, in the trailer, it even looked like there's a lot more to explore, like different environments and biomes.
The map is, we made a...
They do have experience with, you know, management style with Sanctum, which was very good.
So it's kind of enormous.
But Sanctum 2 didn't really seem to have much buzz around it.
Engineers there. How does multiplayer work?
Oh, it's a co-op game. So you'll start up a server and play with your friends.
Great. Now tell us, how do we get our hands on this game?
So
you put your credit card in your computer.
So you can sign up for the alpha at satisfactorygame.com. And yeah, then you'll know.
Well, great. Oscar, thanks for joining me on stage once again. That is satisfactorygame.com. Now, up in the balcony, Frankie, I understand you have our very first indie title of the day.
We do indeed, Sean, because here's something we love about the PC platform. It's such fertile ground for creative ideas from small teams. NeoCab is an emotional survival game set in the future about gig labor, tech disruption, and the experience of being a driver for hire. Perhaps the last of your kind. From the brand new indie studio Chance Agency, let's watch the first gameplay trailer for NeoCab.
World exclusive. Right. Oh, this looks a bit weird. I never really like to play these type of games. I like to watch other people play them. Oh no! So what? I don't know what the actual game is.
Now, our next game, believe it or not, is in the Battle Royale genre. Of course, it's E3 2018. What do you expect? We have several Battle Royale games we're going to be talking about today because the Battle Royale format is very simple and very flexible. Players play in an ever-shrinking space until there's one last standing. So developers have already been doing all kinds of different explorations of what this could possibly be. And our very first Battle Royale game that we'll be introducing today has up to 1,000 concurrent players. It's from Automaton Games. Let's look.
PlanetSide.
Mavericks Proving Grounds.
World exclusive. I'll take that. Thank you. What the hell? Just changed. It changed. Oh, look, this fucking arsehole. Dickhead. So is it first person? Again, I wish they would make, you know, a more traversal-esque style game. Uncharted Battle Royale, climbing, swinging everywhere. The beta.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Mavericks Proving Grounds is the CEO of Automaton Games. It's James Thompson. James, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, I want to immediately ask, what about Mavericks Proving Grounds distinguishes itself from other Battle Royale games?
Absolutely
well,
nothing.
It's a very popular formula, and you know that last man standing kind of game type is incredibly compelling by itself. But Mavericks is really about depth. You know, we've already talked about 400 players before, and we're sort of super excited today to talk about our 5-man squad mode being 1,000 players. But really, it's about depth as well. It's about the fact that that environment is even a bigger step, the simulation and those elements sort of combining together.
Yeah, I want to zoom in right on the 1,000 players aspect. How does that really shift the dynamic from the, say, 100 that we're typically used to?
Well, it's really about combining scale with the depth of simulation. So the fact that together, what you actually have is a landscape that means you're making decisions off a lot more information.
Yeah, I mean, because you hinted at that twice now. Like, what do you mean by there's a lot more information in the environment for players to process?
So take a concrete example, right? So let's say a player's walking through the map, they'll be leaving footprints, they'll be displacing foliage, like grass bending. But you know, siege-style gameplay in houses, that's like a lot of destruction systems that sort of together make the map much more of a dynamic environment.
It's like a recent history of who could have been here.
Yeah.
You know, I want to ask about what more is in store for Mavericks Proving Grounds. I understand that this has a lot more out-game features than someone might expect.
Yeah, so it's not just that session-based gameplay. You enter the game through the capital, which is our sort of persistent social hub. So we draw from the MMORPG side of things. It's really it's a full world, not just a map. You know, so it's got a persistent game type side to it too. Yeah. But really it's about bringing this all together into something which makes a much richer MMO experience.
Now, where can people go to find out more?
Well, we've just launched our site right now, so if you're interested in signing up for the closed beta, you can do that now at mavericks.gg/closed-beta. And actually, if you register this week, you'll get special in-game content for free from E3.
Oh, awesome.
And we have only 100,000 slots for the first group signing up, so that will give you some beta access. But I'm sure there are a lot more people than that on the stream, so quickly do that if you're interested in.
Well, James, thanks so much for joining us.
How long are the games? If
Our
you're,
very next game
if you
will
win,
showcase the
fucking
extraordinary
hours.
power of modders. Frankie, tell us about it.
It does indeed, Sean. On PC, we don't just play what's given to us. We mod games to make our own experiences.
We fix
And for
them
many developers,
with mods.
modding is a way to turn a hobby into a career. The Forgotten City is the perfect example. It's a standalone game that's a reimagining of a wildly successful mod. In fact, the first mod in history to win a National Writers Guild Award. For the first time ever, here's gameplay from the Forgotten City.
I'm so sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place. An ancient underground city. Its existence long forgotten. Searching for a way out. All I found is a window into the past. If even one person here commits a sin, everyone will die. I tried to set things right, but whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. It's all up to you now. Go back, investigate, talk to everyone, help them out if it'll win their trust. Bend the rules as far as you can. Figure out who's responsible for this, and maybe you can do what I never could. Save these people. Save yourself.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Coming up on the PC Gaming Show, what's next for Killing Floor 2? And an unannounced game from Tripwire Interactive. And now your host, Sean Plott.
Our next game is a blast from the past. It's not a sequel or prequel or remake, but rather an entirely new game altogether. Let's take a look at Stardoc's Star Control Origins.
Long ago, the Singularity formed, its creators uplifted into something beyond our understanding. These beings, now known as the Lexites, left Earth, traveling to multiple planets in our solar system, before vanishing altogether. This is why we are here. Welcome to Star Control, a state-of-the-art international space agency tasked with the exploration of our solar system and the defense of Earth. Here reside the world's brightest minds and greatest technology, brought together by a strong curiosity to discover the unknown. Help us pioneer the future. Join today.
Star Control has accelerated the construction of our new modular deep solar system vessel specifically for this mission.
Hello,
It's the
PlayStation
fastest,
2.
most expensive ship humanity has ever made, Captain.
I am Chief Viscosity Officer Windu of the Tyrone. The Scribe have evidently received traces of your radio broadcasts themselves.
Delightful new spaceship.
You must be humans. We've had so much.
Humans. Right. Okay. Pre-order and play today. How does that work?
Joining me to talk about Star Control is the Director of Production at Stardock, Patrick Shaw. Thanks for joining me on stage today, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
So now just tell us straight up, what is Star Control all about?
So Star Control is an open universe action RPG. You can visit dozens of aliens, hundreds of different stars, thousands of different unique planets, and you can land on each and every one of them. And when you're driving around the planets, you can jump over canyons, blast critters, and then you can venture out into the solar system and do ship-to-ship combat with hostile aliens.
And I want to ask, since I know that the story is a big part of this game, with it being open world, how do you make sure that the story still stays as the focus for the player?
Yeah, so we're really excited about the story that we prepared for Star Control. It's funny, it's creative, but also has some dark, sinister side to it. However, what we're very proud and very excited about is we have an infinite universe. That is, we are fully simulating the entire universe at all times. So even if you're on some podunk little moon in the corner of the universe, the aliens are still moving around the universe, doing their own thing, exploring and interacting with each other.
So it's not just like at a planet there's the same town whenever you visit it. It depends on how the simulation has driven it forward.
Right, exactly. So this infinite universe is the glue that connects my story, my adventure, to the larger open galaxy.
That's awesome. Now, I know modding is going to be a big part of Star Control Origins. How does modding work?
So what's your favorite science fiction show?
Probably Firefly.
Yeah, so what would you think of making Firefly Season 2?
Shit, that's a lot of pressure, Patrick. Well, you're putting me on the spot on stage right now, yeah.
We have a week to do it, so. But anyways, in Star Control Origins, you can create your own ships, your own planets, your own galaxies. You can package up your adventures and share them with your friends online.
So someone else can take care of Firefly Season 2. That's up to you. Now, last thing I want to ask about is how multiplayer works.
Right. So in the game, we have ship-to-ship combat, and that turned out to be so popular in our early testing. They're like, we should make this a separate gameplay mode. So we did. We called it Fleet Battles. So you can create your own ships, you build them out of different pieces and parts, you attach different weapons and defenses, and then you go online to play them. You can either play local.
You just crash into a planet and you're fine.
Or online, ranked or online.
Bounced right off it.
People go to pick up Star Control Origins.
Well, right now, Star Control Origins is available for pre-order on GOG and Steam.
Well, lovely. Guys, definitely be sure to head over to starcontrolgame.com and check them out on Steam and GOG as well.
And one more thing, we are happy to announce at the PC Gamer Show that Star Control Origins is launching on September 20th, 2018.
Look for it on September 20th. Now, our next game was PC Gamer's favorite game from E3 last year. It is Hunt Showdown from Crytek. Let's take a look at what's coming for Hunt Showdown just after E3.
Is this a Battle Royale game? I'm not sure. Or is it just a survival-esque game? Bide now.
I am here with Guy from Skydance, who's here to tell me why fighting in massive mech suits is not about to go out of fashion anytime soon. Guy, now Hellfire, Archangel was originally a single-player narrative game, but Hellfire, this new edition, what changes is that going to make?
Well, players really loved the single-player narrative, but they all kept telling us the same thing. They said, we really want it multiplayer, and we want it off-rails. And we kind of thought, that's a completely different game, but let's give it a shot. And so we got a crack team together. They put something really special. We got 4 maps. We got 6 different mechs, tons of weapons where you could just blast through the environment and other mechs alike. And it's really just an amazing experience. You can zip around in your mech. You can tower over others. It's just something special that I think you can try right now.
Is this coming out of early access? So you just said we can try it right now, but you've got the full version launching soon, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's coming out in July 17th. But you could try it right now if you want an early access. Help us iron out the kinks and break some mechs along the process.
I am no good at ironing out kinks, as I think people at home can see, guys. But as a heavy mech woman, I can't wait for you to be my light mech wingman in that 2v2 PvP. So let's take a closer look at Archangel Hellfire.
Let's do it.
Looked like it was
Our next title is
VR.
one I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It's from the makers of Sherlock Holmes, and it's a delightful-looking Lovecraftian mystery. It's called The Sinking City, and joining me to talk about it is the community manager at Frogwares, Sergey Oganessian. Welcome, Sergey. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've earned a handshake.
Yeah, you
Welcome
nailed
to
that
the stage.
pronunciation.
I love that you lie to me so kindly. You know, I want to ask right away, The Sinking City, you know, there's a lot of open world, third-person type games. What makes The Sinking City different from what a player might expect?
Well, I mean, The Sinking City is an open-world action investigation game inspired by Lovecraft. And we believe that these three elements already make the game pretty unique. And you know, when I say that you can be a detective in a world, in a supernatural world full of mystery and, you know, cosmic fear, like, I really mean it, because investigations are really at the core of The Sinking City.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of games in the open world genre that are focused on action, but you say investigation is at the core. What are investigation mechanics? What does it look like?
So the first thing you should know right off the bat is that we are not going to offer any hand-holding for the player. We will not give you any clear objectives in your diary or, you know, markers on the map telling you where to go or what to do. It's actually up to you to figure that out. Instead, we will give you information, you know, hints, evidence, like clues, crime scenes to examine, like people to talk to, suspects to question. And we will ask you in return to use your wits and your intuition to, you know, experiment with your findings, you know, maybe like find a way how to progress. And what you should also know is that finding these clues will not only help you understand what's going on and, you know, get a better understanding of the world and its people, but it will also help you maybe change the course of your investigation.
You know, you mentioned the world itself, and I mean, the footage that I've seen through the years has just been absolutely beautiful. Talk to me about the world that we're in and what investigation is at the core.
So the game takes place in this fictional city of Oakmont in the state of Massachusetts. You know, the city which is flooded. There is a terrible disaster going on which has claimed like thousands of lives. And also, like, it seems like it awakened frightening monsters which now roam the streets of Oakmont. You know, people that live in the city, they are very different, like different social classes, gangs, cultists, poor people, rich people, but they are all united by fear. You know, they are all afraid, maybe except for the cultists, of course. They are all afraid that, you know, for their lives, because of the flood, because of the monsters. And you know, we actually want to understand what's going on. We want to understand what lies behind this ostensibly supernatural flood. And what's even funny is that while everybody is afraid, nobody wants to leave. But this is kind of a different story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the story world and how it's inspired by Lovecraft. What about the game mechanics? You've mentioned the sanity mechanic in the past.
Indeed, we do have a sanity mechanic which directly impacts gameplay. You know, when our hero is under a lot of stress, when he sees like something supernatural, something disturbing, or even when he's making choices in the story which he's not comfortable with making, you know, he will begin to lose his sanity. He will start to have hallucinations, he will start to hear distorted sounds, which will allow the player to understand that something is actually going wrong. Maybe we need to, you know, step back and do something about that. As of right now, we're still fine-tuning this mechanic because we are still looking, you know, for this sweet spot between impact on the gameplay and impact on the story.
Since we're almost out of time, I still just have to ask, what are the sweet monsters that we're going to get to see in the game?
Oh, we have different kinds of monsters. We have different kinds of archetypes, you know, with different abilities. And, you know, we actually give you tools. The game is not about fighting monsters. Investigation is the core of the game. But we give you tools to defend.
It's not about fighting.
So
Here's a fucking shotgun.
We give you certain, like, traps. In return, we ask you that you make a decision, because the game is about making a decision. Ammunition is scarce, and you will have to adjust your tactics accordingly.
So I know a lot of people have all sorts of questions about what the game is like. Where can they go to find out more information?
So if you're hungry for more, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. This is where we post our updates regularly. Facebook, The Sinking City Game, YouTube, Frogwares. So go there, and like, this is definitely the place to go if you want to learn more.
Well, I'm super excited personally to see how it turns out. Thanks for joining me on stage, Sergey. The Sinking City. Now, our next game is a PC title that has only gotten better over the last few years, and I'm always excited to hear what they have in store. Frankie is up on the balcony with the developers of Warframe. Talk to me, Frankie.
Well, we all know the PC is home to some of the most devoted communities in gaming, and one of the best undoubtedly belongs to Warframe. Last year, the game got its first open world update, Plains of Eidolon, and the next epic cinematic quest is called The Sacrifice. And we've got the exclusive launch trailer for you.
That was it.
Megan Everett, community manager at
That's all you get.
Streams, joins me now. Megan, tell me more about The Sacrifice.
So The Sacrifice is the latest installment of our cinematic quest. It continues a story that we started in The Second Dream, continued with The War Within, and then Apostasy Prologue. So at the end of last year, we kind of shattered some hearts and left them with a bit of a plot twist, and I'm not going to spoil it for people who want to maybe catch up. But what I can say is that, obviously from the trailer that you saw, the wait for Umbra, the 3-year wait to the Umbra Warframe is finally over. The creepy guy at the end of the trailer there, Ballast, plays a pretty big role in this quest. And again, not going to spoil a lot, but I can say that it's coming this week on PC.
And you guys are actually currently waiting, well, as well as the update, you're working towards TennoCon right now.
Yes, so it's going to be another big year for us, and I'm really excited for it.
Well, let's take a look at last year's event to get an idea of what TennoCon is all about.
What do you think the mega reveal at Tenno Live is going to be?
Can you tell me anything about this Umbra thing that's maybe going on or whatever?
Oh, those people. I wish I could be excited like those people. Oh, it's Angry Joe!
Whole new direction for Warframe and all this. You got all these other games coming out, but this one's free.
When's 2018 happening?
Get it started.
Given that the community knows you as Auntie Megan,
oh God.
Wow.
It must be huge for you to be at TennoCon.
TennoCon is really special for really everyone that works at Digital Extremes. The developers pour their heart and soul into what we do for TennoCon, and I know for me it was literally like the best day of my entire career. I know Rebecca, our community director at home, is watching. But last year when we did the Plains of Eidolon, open world expansion reveal, Reb and I were actually doing that as a live demonstration in front of everyone, and we had practiced it for months, and it went as flawlessly as we could have ever hoped for. And we actually, as people were cheering, it's pitch black on stage, Reb and I look at each other and we just kind of fist pump and both started crying because we didn't crash the demonstration. So if you watch Tenno Live this year, if you're there, you can definitely probably count on some tears and some emotions because it's a really big day for us.
So basically, bring tissues, right?
Bring tissues for yourself, for me, for everyone involved, because there will be some tears probably.
But if you can't get to TennoCon because unfortunately it is sold out, how can you watch it online?
So on twitch.tv/Warframe, you can definitely check it out. And PC Gamer is also hosting as well on their Facebook and Twitter.
And you get free stuff by watching Twitch?
You do. So if you want to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account, and all you have to do is watch and you get some free stuff.
Fantastic. So that's happening from July 7th, and you'll be able to watch TennoCon live through PC Gamer's Twitch channel and the Facebook page. Thank you, Auntie Megs. Sean, it's over to you.
Thank you, Frankie, and thank you, Warframe. The next name is one I grew up with, Sega. They've become a prolific publisher of Japanese games known for their fully featured ports, especially beloved by this guy on the left. Sega's bringing shining resonance both to PC and console.
That was the right. It was our left, but his right.
Coming later this year, they have all sorts of games coming up. Let's take a look at what Sega's got in store.
Tetris. I should replay Yakuza. Oh yeah. Playing Outrun.
Yakuza 0 is available for pre-order right now and will be releasing on Steam in early August. We hope you've been enjoying the show thus far. We have so much more great stuff to come. Let's see what's coming up at this year's PC Gaming Show.
Coming up on the PC Gaming Show, a new publisher reveals 3 new games. And the first ever gameplay footage of Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Ooh, okay. I'm actually,
Sean Plott.
like, look at that, actually.
And I'm back.
You didn't fucking go anywhere.
Our next guest is a
This
regular
isn't
here at
TV, there's no
Gaming Show,
breaks.
having attended all 4 years. Frankie's with him up in the balcony. It's Tripwire.
Sean, if you are anything like me, you probably need to let off steam every once in a while. And I personally can't think of a better way to do it than by kicking back and tearing up a load of monstrous enemies. It's kind of either that or pushing the office photocopier out of the window, and I, for one, prefer the option that keeps me and everyone here in a job. With that in mind, I am thrilled to welcome Bill Monk from Killing Floor 2 back to E3.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Got a lot of fans in the audience still. Listen to that applause.
Yep.
They all want to know what the latest from Tripwire and Killing Floor 2 is.
Yep, we've been really busy working on Killing Floor, and we got 4 major updates that are coming out this year. The first one we dropped in March, and we're getting ready to drop the next one really soon.
Coming tomorrow, Bill. What's involved?
Yeah, so we're bringing the summer sideshow back, but this time we're mixing circus freaks with steampunk in a really fun, exciting way. And we have a really cool new system that we're adding. It's called the Weapon Upgrade System. And with this, there's 73 different weapons that we have in our game, and each one you can upgrade it and make it viable for late play. So it really adds a lot of creativity to your loadout. So I'm really excited to get that in people's hands.
So you can make your boy guns big.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much.
Your
for
boy,
joining us today,
your
Bill.
boy Buns.
A look at the trailer for Treacherous Skies Summer Sideshow.
Whoa. Right. Okay.
Welcome aboard the HMS Queen Victoria, ladies and gents. Ringleader Lockhart speaking to you from, well, someplace very safe, yes. You helped me escape that fray at my beloved Steamland, but now I need your help once again. I've got to get to my island in the channel. Now, listen up. I don't know how, but these blasted circus freaks followed us on board. I think it's time to put on a show. Yes, of daring deeds and horrendous bloodshed.
Oh, for me, my mechanical children have turned against me. Blasted traitors! Careful, lads, they're tough. Even removing the head won't put these rebellious robots down. But take heart, lads and lasses. I have invented some new toys. The Doomstick. 4 barrels are better than 2. The Static Strikers. A shockingly stylish set of gauntlets. And the M99 Sniper Rifle. And finally, there's a last-minute addition to the crew.
Watch this woman go.
Seems Mrs. Foster negotiated her way on board and is set on giving Zed
You won't like the angry.
the business. And remember, we'll see you on the airship.
The airship looks really cool.
Fossey, joke for you. Optician says my eyes are okay. I say, then how do you explain my husband?
Now,
Hilarious.
as is tradition, the content that you just saw will be available tomorrow, including a free weekend for PC this weekend. Definitely
All of the
check it out.
noobs.
That's not all that Tripwire has. I have the president of Tripwire himself, John Gibson, on stage. John, welcome back again.
Thanks, Sean. Pleasure to be here.
Now, I understand that Tripwire is stepping into also doing publishing. What does that entail?
That's right. So, Sean, it's really challenging for developers right now with the thousands of games that are coming out every year.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get noticed. And then you have the traditional publishing deals. So we're giving developers fair deals. We're going to be helping them rise above that noise so they can get noticed. And because of our experience developing our own games and publishing our own games, we're going to help them with marketing, funding, mentoring, feedback to help them succeed.
Yeah, I mean, the game that we have on screen is one of those games. This is Road Redemption.
That is right. I'm happy to announce that we're going to be publishing Road Redemption. We're going to be helping them grow and succeed even more on Steam, but also bring the franchise beyond Steam.
Now, I know today you have a world-exclusive new game, hasn't been announced yet.
We do. Nobody knows.
Before we roll the trailer, I was wondering if you could give me a little bit of a tease.
Yeah, so we're working with the team at Blindside Games, and they're led by Alex Quick.
Oh, yeah, right.
So if you're familiar with the Killing Floor universe, you know Alex Quick was the modder that created the original Killing Floor mod, which Tripwire worked with Alex to bring commercial. And then Alex went off, assembled his own team, made the game Depth, which was sharks and humans fighting each other, very, very successful. And now it's come full circle. We're working with Alex again, and we're going to bring his all-new game to market.
Well, let's take a look at it right now. World-exclusive new upcoming game from Tripwire.
Close your eyes and imagine a place
And sleep.
where the sun is bright and the beaches are white. A place filled with southern charm, where the water is as warm as the welcome. So come feel the wind in your sails. Kick back and relax. Enjoy the local cuisine. Your dream vacation is waiting for you here on the Gulf Coast. Go to maneatergame.com now to book your vacation. Operators are standing by.
So hey, John, so you get to play as the shark.
You are the shark.
Okay.
This is an open world action RPG where you play as a shark. Or
Right.
as we like to call it, a shark PG.
Oh, nice. Okay, so do you like upgrade and improve the shark? Is there like skill trees?
You do. There is a shark skill tree. Really? There is a full single player campaign. You eat your way through it.
This is like
You
Goat
get bigger
Simulator.
teeth, you can jump out of the water and snatch people off piers and all of that fun stuff.
I didn't realize this was a power fantasy I needed so badly. Now, where can people go to get more information about it?
They can go to maneatergame.com.
All right. I doubt anyone will forget that here. That's maneatergame.com. John, thanks so much for joining me on stage. And once
My
again,
pleasure.
all the content that Tripwire showcased earlier about Killing Floor 2 and Road Redemption will be playable here at E3. Definitely be sure to check it out. Coming up next, Frankie has a whole slew of unannounced games. Frankie.
Cheers, Sean. Man-eater looking tasty there, and I can't believe they named a game after my favourite weekend activity. Indies are at the heart of PC gaming, and next up is a brand new publisher revealing 3 games for the very first time, releasing one of them, Behave Yourselves audience, today. So let's take a look.
Who writ that fucking line? Who writ that line? Oh God. We're going backwards. We're going so far back. She's a man-eater. Na 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 na. Like. I mean, that couldn't have been taken any other way than sexually. It's Minecraft. Oh God, no. It was all a simulation. Doesn't really do much for me, a lot of this. Unless I already know what the game is, just the trailer doesn't do a lot for me. I need to know more. I need to know. Overwhelm, a game by O'Sullivan. Available right now.
All these games look like must-plays. And Overwhelm, the final game of the bunch, is available on Steam right now with a special launch discount. So make sure you check that out after the show. And if you're at E3 this week, head over to the PC Gamer corner of the Facebook booth inside the South Hall to give Overwhelm a try. Right, next up, it's time for us all to take a holiday, and where better than a virtual resort with some truly spectacular wildlife. Back again this year, our friends of the show, Frontier Developments, with a unique take on the park management genre. I am, of course, talking about Jurassic World Evolution. The long-awaited game is out tomorrow and lets you build your own dinosaur-stuffed tourist trap. What could possibly go wrong? Unleash the Goldblum!
Fucking hell. Oh my word.
You think that things are going to turn out differently, huh? Well, the ones before you did too. Because they believed that they were in control. And control... Well, here's the thing. humanity is desperate for it. We are seduced by it, deceived by the illusion of it, but we never really possess it. Because if there's anything that chaos theory has taught us, it's that nature is on its own course. And when we interfere, when humanity tries to put nature into orderly boxes, chaos destroys them. And what makes us such unique creatures is knowing the scope and power of what we're up against and still believing that we can win. I know, however, what I would predict.
Not the goat! No!
I am so excited for that game. Our next title is from Insomniac, who've been making amazing games for years, and they're going to try to take their expertise and answer the question, how do you make an open world game in VR? Let's take a look
Oh
at the
no.
upcoming game.
Badly. The graphics look way too fucking good. I don't believe these are the real graphics. Can I play it without VR? Probably not. It looks very pre-rendered to me. Where's my eye? No, that looks real. I mean, it looks stupidly good, which is why I don't believe it at all. Step into Rift.
Joining me to talk about Stormland is the Chief Creative Officer at Insomniac Games. Join me in welcoming Chad Desern. Hey, Chad, welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
I want to start right away and ask, what is this game all about?
Well, in Stormland, you play as an android gardener. And an entity called the Tempest uproots your habitat and shatters your android body. So you've got to travel to a civilization above the Thunderheads to repair yourself and save your friends.
And I want to ask what open world means in VR.
Well, for us, it's about giving the player the ability to explore the world freely with a set of Android movement abilities that are designed to give you complete agency.
Yeah, because that's always a huge question I have is how does motion work in any VR title?
Yeah, well, in
Badly.
you can do things like fly just above the slipstream with your outstretched Android hands.
Yeah.
You can shoot a laser into the cloud surface and then make a ramp, kick off of that, climb up a cliffside, like literally launching yourself with your synthetic Android strength.
Going like...
And then like push off and glide back down using your
going like this
to control your descent.
while you're standing still.
Yeah.
That's it. It's this set of mechanics that are designed together to work fluidly.
It's not fun.
That,
It's not good.
Exhilarating. Yeah. And you can kind of take the world at your own pace with it.
I'm curious why VR for this type of title?
There are a series of things that we're doing with Stormland that we could only do in VR. It's about the expressiveness of having tracked head and hands and how we use that for combat, how we use it for movement. Even things like scavenging technology to attach it to your body. Like you look down, you get a new piece of tech, and you attach it right into your arm, and then suddenly you've got the ability to harness electricity or cloak yourself, or all kinds of different cool Android abilities.
I mean, the art is just beautiful in the footage that we've seen. I wonder if you can talk to me a little bit about the world and what it means for it to be ever changing.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that entity called the Tempest rearranges everything every single week, so that we present the player with new playgrounds of movement and combat and scavenging, and you never know what you're going to discover. So every single island you find has the potential to hide an enemy stronghold or a network of underground caverns or brand new tech to scout.
That's awesome.
What was that?
I gotta ask,
someone dropped a bomb.
Well, you can stay tuned by watching the Facebook and Twitter with @StormlandVR, or you can check us out at insomniac.games.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Chad. Once again, oculus.com/Stormland for more information. Frankie's up in the balcony with our next
I actually really like the look of that.
Looking indie title.
It really is, Sean, because next up we've got a first look at a new game from publisher Raw Fury, a neo-noir detective drama featuring a Paris cabbie who finds himself drawn into a world of crime. Sacré Ruddy Bleu. Yes, I speak French. I can't wait for this one, so let's take a ride with the trailer.
Is this made by the same people who made that fucking game we saw earlier? It looks exactly the same.
If you like that last game, you'll definitely love our next one. It's from the exact same publisher, Raw Fury. It's an open-world, narrative-focused game with an incredible art style. Let's take a look at Sable.
Fable? Did you say Fable? Sable Fable. Oh, it was drawn by a 2-year-old. That's what you meant by art style. This journey. Sable.
Joining me to talk about Sable is pretty much the entire core development team on stage. It's Daniel Feinberg and Greg Kithriotis. I want to immediately ask, what kind of game is Sable? What can we expect?
Sable is an open world desert exploration game. It's not a game about combat or about leveling up. It's a game about solitude, and it's a game about exploration. You play as Sable, a girl leaving her home to explore this world filled with monumental architecture, fallen spaceships, and you'll travel around on your hover bike learning
I think the animation is missing a few frames.
And you know, I talked about it before. I think this art style is amazing. Where's the origins of this?
So we were really heavily inspired by the clear lines style of French and Belgian comics, as well as Japanese animation, particularly Studio Ghibli. So we really want to feel our players to feel the same sense of wonder that you get from watching one of their films. And so from the very beginning, we knew that we really needed to nail the visual style. And yeah, so we put a lot of time and sort of effort into our rendering system. And yeah, we're really pleased to be able to show it to everyone.
Yeah. And I mean, I know that you two consist of most of the core development, the art and the programming. What about the music that was in that trailer?
Yeah, so that was a new track by Japanese Breakfast.
Oh, yeah, the T-shirt. Yes, of course.
Yeah, right. So she, Michelle, she is doing the soundtrack for the game. Japanese Breakfast is one of my favorite bands right now. It's incredible to have her on board.
It all just came together so beautifully in the trailer, and I know that you guys are really regular about updating.
I'd love to present one of these and be like,
it
wasn't that. Yeah, I'm not really interested. Yeah. Next.
Lovely, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining me. Once again, the name of the game is Sable.
Do you know if the new Fallout's going to be any good?
Showing up in our very first PC gaming show. It's Cloud Imperium Games still hard at work on their title, Star Citizen. Let's see what they have in store.
Oh, good, this game. I can't wait for this game. Oh, dear. I want this to just... I want them to cancel it. To piss people off. At least do an April Fool's joke. I won't play it because no one is ever going to play it. There is no adventure.
Coming up on the PC gaming show.
This isn't TV.
Play footage of Just Cause 4. A closer look at The Walking Dead, the final season. All new gameplay footage of Hitman. And now your host, Sean Plott.
As we do each year at the PC Gaming Show, in addition to talking about games, we're also going to talk about some of the upcoming hardware trends. To join me in talking about it is the Senior Brand Manager from Acer. It's Eric Ackerson. Thanks for joining me.
Can you announce the new graphics cards so I can buy one?
I just want to straight up ask, what are some of the
I don't want to buy one of the... I don't want to buy a 1080 and then it's like, surprise, there's a new one.
In the display space, we want to take the experience to the next level. To help with that, one of our new products is the Predator X27. It's an incredible gaming display. For instance, it's 4K and 120 hertz refresh. the users can overclock to 144. But what really takes it over to the next level is the inclusion of G-Sync HDR.
You know, I hear a lot about HDR. Can you explain a little more in detail what that is and what that means?
Well, there's quite a bit that goes into it, but for the purpose of this conversation, the fact that there are 384 individual backlit zones, so the backlighting can be individually controlled, really bright, very dark. It makes a better contrast on screen. Each of them are individually controlled. The brightness of the screen is far above a typical display. Typical, you're looking at 300 to 400 nits. We're looking at 600 with the Predator X27 with a max of 1,000 nits.
And you know, some of the titles that were showcased just now, there's a wide variety of some photorealistic, some with a really iconic art style. How does HDR contribute to that big range we see in gaming?
Well, one of the big things that helps is the color gamut that's available with these displays. We're able to do 99% of the Adobe color gamut, so it's better representing the vision of the art director.
Why not 100%?
You see on screen that support HDR: Mass Effect Andromeda, Far Cry 4, Ni no Kuni 2. Again, you won't see them in HDR right now unless you have an HDR monitor. It doesn't work that way. We can't just stream it to you. But, you know, it brings me to one of my next questions about PC gamers tend to have a huge range of possible budgets. What are the different sort of products to look for at those price ranges?
Well, I mean, we cover the gamut from very simple and to the point to high-performance esports products or multi-view, surround, multi-display products. But we also go really crazy sometimes. We decide, we put our engineers to the test. What can you do if you have no limit? So one of the projects we've worked on is something called the Predator 21X. This is a 21-inch curved screen laptop with a mechanical keyboard and two graphics cards. Science, materials. We did,
Fucking hell.
We did a really good thing. But you know what? To be serious, not just to joke, we actually have to ship this with a Pelican case to protect the laptop, and it sells for $9,000. And
oh, good.
We sold every single unit we could make. So we cover every spectrum of gaming.
You know, you brought up this Predator laptop. You brought up
I hate
monitors at
laptops.
the start of this segment. Where can people go to hear more about or even pick one up once they stop being sold out?
So the good news is that we're shipping now. Our customers, partners are selling them. The bad news is a few have already sold out of this new Predator X27 monitor. I believe Micro Center is still in stock. Amazon will be in stock again soon.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on stage, Eric. Frankie is awaiting in the balcony with our very next title.
The PC has always been the platform for crazy ideas. In our next game, Genesis Alpha 1, you build and manage a space vessel, farm resources, deal with terrifying alien infestations, and explore a vast, randomly generated universe. Oh, and you can take DNA from the aliens you encounter across the galaxy, splice them with members of your crew to create new life forms. Just a typical day at the office. Let's take a look.
Greetings, Commander. You have been sent to Quadrant Alpha 1. The mission is to find a new home for the crew on board of this ship.
Every game looks the same.
For resources and interesting new life forms. Feel free to experiment with DNA and alien abilities to maximize crew efficiency. Ready your weapons.
Damage numbers. Wow, that gunplay. That did not look good. That looked really bad.
Now, if you didn't catch the pre-show quiz, you might be wondering who my buddy
Oh,
is.
fucking hell. Not him.
This,
Go away.
ladies and gentlemen, is Webster from Drake's Cakes.
Look at those
one of
empty
the PC
seats.
Gaming Show sponsors this year, and he's got a cool competition for you. The Drake's Cakes PAX giveaway. Oh, yes. PAX is a gathering of PC and tabletop
You've
games,
torn
concepts, panels,
your
exhibits, and tournaments.
your sleeves.
It's like a four-day
They're-
LAN party, festival, workshop, and concert rolled
they're
into one.
torn.
The very lucky winner will enjoy a trip to PAX West, including 2 tickets and a free trip to Seattle. So if that's
Oh,
you,
great. Yeah, I'd
hit me up
love
on
to
my
be in a
page,
really
because
crowded, hot convention
this is
with
very generous of
really
PC.
unhygienic,
And by entry,
sweaty
guys, you will get
people.
discount codes to get your hands on some delicious Drake's Cakes available on Amazon. And if you're at E3 itself, don't forget you can meet Webster in person at the E3 Concourse Walkway, where he'll be giving away drinks, swag, and tasty treats all week. So if you see him, give him a fist bump on my behalf. I'll take one now. Thank you very much, Webster. So if you have ever dreamt of spending a weekend knee-deep in one of Earth's best gaming festivals,
No.
visit PCgamer.
Really, no.
And enter now for a chance to win and hang out with Webster. All right, Webster, all this hosting has got me a bit peckish. How about we look at a trailer for the next edition of Clay Entertainment's beloved survival series, Don't Starve, Hamlet.
They're really fucking milking this, aren't they? Jesus Christ.
Our next title is the next installment in a series that never fails to make me laugh. It's Just Cause 4, and they have a brand new engine to bring the level of delicious insanity one notch up. Let's take a look at what the Apex engine in Just Cause 4 can really do.
That looks a bit dangerous.
Joining me to talk about it on stage now, from Avalanche Studios, it's Francesco Antolini and Adam Davidson. Gentlemen, welcome. Talk to me about the tornado.
It's fantastic, isn't it? So it's a very nice piece of tech. It's not just beautiful, but thanks to Apex, it's also a bad boy that actually works. It's fully physicalized.
Yeah.
I just need more than going around blowing stuff up.
It's not just like a background.
I need more.
This is Just Cause, man. You go there and you play with it. Yeah.
You know, throughout the trailers that I've seen, it seems to be a lot of different environments that are available throughout. Can you talk to me about those?
Yeah,
If you played Just Cause 2, there were like fucking loads of environments in there.
More variety into the game, and that extends to a lot of things, but certainly the biomes of the game. So instead of one kind of region of, like, say, southern Italy, like we had last time, now you have lush rainforests, deserts, grassland, and even alpine biomes, all of which, you know, are rendered beautifully with the new Apex engine.
Now, something that's very important to me is some of my favorite features from Just Cause 3. Can you talk to me about, like, the wingsuit and the grappling hooks? Like, are those coming back in Just Cause 4?
Everything you love from Just Cause 3 is back.
Good.
But everything is also just better. There's more to do, more to discover. For example, the grappling hook is completely customizable. The combat model has been completely reworked, redesigned, enhanced, so new weapon, new enemies, new AI. We've got extreme weather, that interacts with grappling hook and parachute.
The wind that we saw from the tornadoes, is just like basic wind effects also get incorporated as well?
Again, it just goes, so nothing, just an effect. So if there is wind, it's physics and acts with your parachute, grappling hook, and the rest. Yeah.
Well, where can people go to get some, we'll call it first-hand footage of what Just Cause 4 can deliver?
They can check it out at justcause.com/E3 and for 3 days.
That's right. Believe it or not, E3 hasn't started yet. Starts tomorrow, so June 12th through 14th. You can check it out. Thanks so much for joining us on stage. I look forward to the hilarity of Just Cause 4. Now, our next title is one of my all-time favorite IPs. I can't wait for Frankie to talk to you about The Walking Dead.
Overkill Software and Starbreeze are the creators of Payday and Payday 2. Therefore, it goes without saying that these studios are some of the most talented makers of cooperative shooters.
And that terrible World War II game.
In a familiar but new apocalyptic Washington, D.C. Here's the first gameplay footage for Overkill's The Walking Dead. And keep your eyes peeled for the release date at the end.
I am actually interested in this. We need more survival horror games. Like, I seem to get interested in a fucking genre when they fucking die.
We were so many things. Husbands and wives, doctors, and
racists,
writers and architects. But when the world ended, all that ended too. Every day we fight for more than survival. We fight.
Your lens is cracked.
Alone, we're weak. But
together we are an orgy. So is it open world? Or is it like mission based? Is it like, you know, mission based like Payday? I don't know.
And I have more good news for fans of The Walking Dead. Overkill's game for The Walking Dead, of course, coming soon, but we have a second completely different Walking Dead game that we're getting the chance to talk about right now.
Yes, it's this game that's not a game.
Walking Dead, the final season. Joining me on stage to talk about it is the lead writer, James Windler, and the voice of Clementine herself, Melissa Hutchison.
But she's not a child. I've been cheated.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. Now, I want to ask right away for, you know, people who've played through the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, in terms of the gameplay, what's some of the familiar and what's some of the new?
Okay, so for people who don't know Telltale, we are a story-based company.
We make the same game every single time.
We've had our roots in the old-school point-and-click adventure games, but we've developed our own cinematic style and almost a signature mechanic, like our choice wheel.
Yeah.
And that's all familiar. That should, you know, the choices branch the narrative. What's new this year? We have like traditionally like combat and action. We've done with QTEs and like swipes and button mashes and all that.
Oh.
This year, with the final season, we're introducing segments of unscripted combat.
Yeah, we see some of this right here.
Yeah, so Clem probably just brutalized the zombie there. Yeah.
What the fuck was that? You had an option to press Y or B.
Like the orbital cam, like
there was no skill in that whatsoever.
So that's like offering our players,
I was about to say, oh, it is a game. And then there was like, oh, no, it's not.
Is like they're looking really, really good with this graphic black art style that we're employing.
Yeah, because in the previous games it was much more of a directed camera from scene to scene, but now you could really sort of explore the environment on your own.
Absolutely, yeah, and yeah.
Now I want to ask about the story. I mean, Telltale games always have that as the central feature. Where does The Walking Dead, the final season, start off?
Okay, so it starts, Clementine has been on the road for a long time. We are post-time jump in the comics. She's been on the road. She's traveling with AJ, who is an orphaned boy, who is the closest thing that she has to family. But they're reaching the end of it. They are like running out of steam on the road. It's like proving to be untenable. The final season, Clementine discovers a school, a secluded school, where there are no adults, and essentially sees that this might be a place that they could call home.
Yeah, and what are the sort of challenges that she's going to face throughout the season?
Oh, all kinds of challenges, yeah. Like zombie threat all the time.
Tough.
Yeah, of course. And then there's always the external threat, like at some point there are going to be adults coming in representing external threats.
Goddamn adults.
Now, Melissa, I want to ask
I hate
what
adults.
your experience has been like, because it's rare to have, a voice actress journey along with a character in a multi-year journey. I mean, how long ago was the first recording that you did?
Well, it was 2012, but we might have even started in 2011. I don't know.
We're not going to do math on air.
Yeah, we're
That's
not
always
doing
a bad
math.
idea.
That's not happening right now.
Look, they don't have paper scripts anymore. They have it on a fucking iPad.
Engaging with her, growing with her, and falling deeper and deeper in love with her, and starting as this young child who's playing as Lee, it's your job to protect her, and then organically moving through all these seasons, and now you're playing as Clementine. I mean, really, this is a fan-driven game, so this final season is for the fans, and you're going to be playing as Clementine and protecting AJ, and this is just near and dear to my heart. And
I mean, how do you feel about the fact that this is the end?
Well, I mean, it's bittersweet. I'm super sad. I'm super psyched. Of course, it'll be sad to end her journey, but I'm really looking forward. Obviously, I'm surrounded by talent with Telltale Games, and I have no doubt that the writers and the creatives are going to crush it. So, sad but happy? It's all very confusing. I'm a very confused human right now. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I'm someone who's played through all of the Telltale Walking Dead games. I'd love to know when the final season is coming out.
August 14th. We ship August 14th, and it's available for pre-order right now.
Be sure to check it
Is it?
out. Thank you so
Is
much
it
for joining
episodic?
me
Like
on
they're gonna
stage
release?
today. Once again, that's the Walking Dead game.
Are they gonna release like one a month or something like that?
For our next title, Frankie, we're going to head back to you on the balcony.
Next up, have I got a treat for you. Coming straight out of Finland from Nolla Games, it's a magical action roguelike that asks, is that a wand in your pocket? Or are you just trying to kill me? Don't let the retro art style fool you. Noita is set in a procedurally generated world where every pixel is physically simulated. Let's take a look.
That doesn't even make sense. Is that a wand in your pocket or are you trying to kill me? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay. Particles. Pretty.
Our next title is one that's very near and dear to my heart, as it is
Every fucking game is near and dear to your heart.
Hospital. Joining me to talk about it are the two founders of 2 Point Studios to talk about 2 Point Hospital. Join me in welcoming Dr. Webley and Dr. Carr.
Oh dear. Are they actually doctors? They're not actual doctors, are they?
Great suits. I mean, I gotta ask, as two fully trained medical professionals, how does one
They are.
run a hospital in 2 Point Hospital? What's going on with the mic? Oh my gosh, is the stethoscope eliminating your microphone? Oh, you know what? We do this every year. Come here, talk to me.
Okay.
How do we run a hospital?
So 2 Point Hospital is a game about designing and building
Fucking hell.
a hospital. It's
talk directly at my tie.
Yeah, listen, you said don't talk there.
Yeah.
I got to look out here, you said.
Yeah, no, just
We
look
didn't
straight
plan
to
this
the
at
ground.
all.
There's a lot of
We didn't
questions.
plan this at all.
Is this not working at all?
Yeah, it's great.
Doing great. Carry on. I'll carry on then. Yeah, a lot of customization, a lot of interesting characters in our world, which with all these different characters, we had to come up with some really interesting.
I love that.
illnesses
What's going on with the mic?
and
What's going on with the mic? Oh, I'm gonna get
fun in
fired.
different county,
Oh
exploring
shit.
different regions and curing people with different ailments. And as you can see on the
Ooh.
screen, we've got
Fucking hell.
This is real. We actually researched this. It's a certain animal, and also you can train people. You can train your doctors to be better, your nurses to be better. Do research so you can unlock new wonderful cures.
Yeah. You know,
saying everything, isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't know if your
it's
mic was
great.
working. I was a bit backfilling. Carry
Yeah,
on.
so I mean, no, tell me about it. Like, what is the sort of late game sort of experience that you'll be playing through? Because this looks like it's quite deep into the running of a hospital.
Yeah, this is later on. So you start off and you're researching and you're training up staff, you're diagnosing illnesses, and you're hopefully curing them and making money, and then heading off.
I see this
to
malady.
County.
Yeah, I see this malady called turtle head. Can you explain a little
yes.
bit about what that is?
Yes. It's when the head becomes so shrunken, it gets stuck in the neck orifice, just pops out slightly, and it has to be extracted. And Mark, how's it get
well,
extracted?
this is something you've maybe we've all been there. I know. This is one where a little bit of suction always helps, and
and
it's gone.
And out it comes. Yeah. We had to research how to do that.
That's actually a real illness.
Yeah, it is. It's
Northern
real.
England.
Now, I had to ask about something that I think every young man has to deal with at some point. What is a monobrow infestation?
Yeah, well,
They look like
monobrow is,
Wallace and Gromit characters.
Yeah, it's a problem. We've all been there.
Yeah. I haven't.
No, okay.
But it needs to be diagnosed and cured pretty quickly. If it doesn't, it'll fester, and you might shed a bit of hair. And in fact,
it will actually leave the body, and it needs to be got rid of before the health inspectors arrive.
It looks like
I don't think these are actual doctors.
They breed they're big breeders. The monobrow.
they like
monobeasts.
They like dirty places. Disgusting. So you've got to keep your hospital clean and well maintained.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to breed, and you'll have a trouble.
I want to ask about sort of how the game evolves over time, because Theme Hospital was very mission-based. How does the experience of running a hospital change as the game goes on?
Yeah, so once you've started your first hospital, it's a pretty simple affair, and then you move on through 2 Point County. There's different regions. There's a cold region. There's warm regions with contagious diseases, and there's
poor regions, there's rich regions.
Yeah. So we've got volcanoes.
Yeah.
In fact.
We've got all sorts of wonderful. Weird effects can happen in different parts of the
So
world.
you might struggle to manage your hospital empire because a volcano went off nearby.
Yeah, it's about spinning plates, isn't it? You've got everything set up nicely, and then
something happens.
Thrown at you. So.
Well, I'd love to know more information about when 2 Point Hospital is coming out.
Well, we're coming out to fall, and you can check us out by going onto our Steam page and hopefully wish listing. Yeah. And we're coming later in the year.
We're told to say that.
No.
Well, I'm personally, again, really looking forward to it coming out. Thanks so much for joining me, Doctor and Doctor.
Thank you. Thank
Talk
you.
about 2 Point Hospital. Now, our second Battle Royale game of the afternoon takes a fantasy RPG-esque bent, and you may have even seen it getting streamed on Twitch in the previous week.
Oh dear.
Let's take a look at Hi-Rez's Realm Royale.
Oh, I just played this. I got one shot by like legendary fucking bow and arrow.
Joining me to talk about Realm Royale is the executive producer at Hi-Rez
What do we need to know? It's Paladins, but it's in third person and it's Battle Royale.
Mr. Dry Bear, what separates Realm Royale from other types of battle
You turn into a chicken when you die.
Good question. So before you go up into the air to determine where you land on the map, you'll actually choose from a list of fantasy classes like mage or hunter or assassin and specify a unique play style before you land.
How do these different classes work?
So the engineer will be more about bunkering down, putting up shields, putting down turrets. The assassin will get behind the lines using stealth, use a sniper rifle to take out targets. And the warrior will just jump in there throwing axes and being crazy.
And, you know, in some of the streams that I've watched, it also seemed like there were abilities, not just the loot and find stuff. Can you talk to me about how the ability mechanics work?
Once you choose a class, it'll come with a set of abilities, and you'll actually be upgrading these during the match, but it specifies your play style. And so as you're looting, abilities as well as armor and weapons will come out of the chests.
Okay.
You'll start equipping that and determining the play style you want, and so you can just really specify.
And, you know, you mentioned this a little bit. I've seen it on stream. Talk to me about crafting in the game. I mean, how does crafting work in a game where there's a constantly shrinking play circle?
We're really excited about this. So strewn across the map, there are places called forges. And so once you go to the forge, you'll collect shards from disenchanting loot you find as you're going about. And you'll use these shards to start crafting legendary gear, very powerful pieces that everyone will want.
Yeah.
Once you start the forge, a smokestack will appear above the forge, and everyone comes over to fight.
Like a mini objective even.
Big team fight.
So I know that Realm Royale is currently available for free on Steam, but I hear that you have some goodies people can check out that are E3 exclusive.
That's right. So free on Steam, we're actually out for less than a week now, and we were already number 4 on Steam charts. And this week at E3, through Mixer, if you stream on Mixer and you're playing, the streamer that gets closest to the Crown Royale will enter into the hype zone, and so everyone will see you you'll be featured on the main page of Mixer, and you'll have a chance to win the Jailbird chicken skin, which is our first piece of cosmetic. It's a little chicken with like a little jailbird, like prisoner outfit, and just box around. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and if you don't know the chicken mechanic, seriously, please look it up right now. Rory, thanks so much for joining me on stage to talk about Realm Royale once again. It's on Steam right now. Our next game is one that was shown at last year's PC Gaming Show, and Frankie has some updates of what they've been up to.
Yes, John, as you may remember, our next game is made by a core team of just 2 people. It's called Ooblets, and it's a farming and creature collecting indie inspired by Pokemon, Harvest Moon, and Animal Crossing. This fresh
How long is this? Fucking, how long is this one?
system, along with plenty of cute ooblets and environments. Let's take a gander.
Have a gander. Have a gander at that. Have a gander. What the fuck? Oh, it's Double Fine. Oh, good. Right. Okay. Got no idea what that was.
Now, it wouldn't be a PC gaming show without a dash of strategy, which is why I'm delighted that we get the chance to share with you the next in the Anno games. Let's take a look at Anno 1880.
Brilliant. No one wanted this other thing that begins with A. Anno 1800.
Joining me on the stage to talk about it is the executive producer, Burkhard Rathheiser, and community developer, Bastian Thun.
Do we really need them on the stage? We know what a strategy game is.
I want to begin right away by asking, for people who haven't seen or experienced the Anno series, what are these types of games like?
Yeah, well, Anno 1800 is a PC only real-time strategy game, and it's kind of mixing city building together with economic simulation and naval warfare. And at its core, it's a sandbox game, so you have a vast amount of freedom to explore the world and build huge cities.
And I wonder if you could talk to me a little bit about why the choice of the 19th century for this game.
Well, the 19th century, it's such an interesting and rich era. There was so much happening in this era. So we had two industrial revolutions. We had major scientific inventions and also big social changes, and also the creation of the big imperial empires. So it's a really rich era.
And what are some of the elements that we'll get to see from the 19th century in Anno 1800?
So it's kind of, for the player, it's well, basically you start with the first kind of medieval settlements, and then it's a kind of a journey through the 19th century. So it's a kind of, you explore everything that kind of happened in this rich era.
And I understand that you have a very unique take on how to work with the community, how to gather feedback. I was wondering if you could talk to me about what is Anno Union.
So last year at Gamescom, when we actually revealed the game, we decided on, you know what, it's pre-alpha, we revealed the game. We invited the community to basically become a member of our development team. So we launched our Anno Union platform. It's a place where we give constant weekly updates on the current development and invite players to give feedback and basically help us developing the game.
Can you give me like an example of exactly how some choices have been steered by the community?
So there's a lot of different stuff we did. So like from feedback we got on our blogs and focus playtests where invited players. We got so much great feedback, which had to completely rebalance the mid and late game of the game. Also, we heavily expanded on core features of the game based on feedback. We said like, okay, that really seems to work. Players like that, so okay, let's do it, like improve the quality a little bit even more. But they can also vote on actual game content. So we had a big vote for an AI opponent in the game, for a community creation contest where they could create their own island and stuff like this.
And I understand that some of this footage that you're sharing right now is pieces that people can go to anno-union.com and vote on right now.
Exactly. So just in time for E3, you can go to anno-union.com, check out, we have a vote up where you can vote on one of 5 ships in the game. And that's only the first stage, because in the second stage, we will allow you to design your own ship variant. So the winner of that first vote, then you can hand in your own design nodes, drawings, 3D models, whatever you like. And the winner of that contest will actually make it into the game.
Now, where is the website that people can go to again to get the most information right now?
Yeah, just check out anno-union.com. That's basically our big community platform, and we want to invite especially strategy gamers, PC players out there to come help us developing the game, sharing feedback. Just check it out.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me on stage to talk about Anno 1800. Our next title is the final battle royale of the night.
Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be talking about it, and it's a little bit, maybe not what you'd expect.
Publisher TinyBuild is known for discovering distinctive indie developers and bringing their quirky ideas to the fore, with Cluster Truck, Speedrunners and Hello Neighbor among their catalogue of hits. And now,
Hello Neighbor, I'm pretty sure was a fucking disaster.
A game developed by Galvanic Games in cooperation with Explosion. Inspired by the Cyanide and Happiness webcomic, Rapture Rejects is Battle Royale as you've never seen one before, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. Top down, isometric, cartoony, and basically bonkers. Let's take a look at what happens when the man upstairs makes an epic fail and only beams up the bad people. Introducing Rapture Rejects.
Dear God, every day I strive to be closer to your light. I pray that when Judgment Day, that most holiest of days, comes upon us, when you bring all the good people to heaven, that I may live in eternal glory by your side. Amen.
God. What?
Little help? Thanks, brah. Smell you later, you old bag.
Sign up for the alpha. You've got to try and remember all these bloody alphas and betas and Jesus Christ.
I can't believe we got to show that trailer. That's so great. Our final game that we will be showcasing this evening.
Oh, thank fuck.
Perhaps the most famous stealth action
I'm gonna go to bed.
gaming,
I'm not watching the Sony one.
series.
I'm
Let's
too
take a
tired.
look
I'll
at
watch
the
it tomorrow.
brand new trailer from Hitman 2.
You mean, so they're doing a HD remaster of Hitman 2, are they? That's cool.
Welcome to
That's really
Miami,
cool.
47. The innovation race is on its last day, and it is down to the wire. The Providence defectors are Robert and Sierra Knox. A day of high-octane thrills and two very public targets.
Huh. Yeah. Well, it's just another company, PUBG, gonna have to sue. Oh yeah, you get the sniper assassin thing.
Joining me to talk about Hitman 2 is game director from IO Interactive, Jacob Mickelson. Join me up here, Jacob. Come on out, we gotta talk. Assassination.
It's being stealthy.
Hey, Sean. Welcome, Jacob. Thanks for joining me. I mean, right away, tell me, what is Agent 47 doing in Miami?
Well, he's there to pay a visit to Sharon Robert Knox, who are part of the Kronstadt Empire. And yeah, we all know how that ends, right?
Well, given that it's a Hitman game, I have some hints. And, you know, I always felt like in the Hitman games, the environment was so critical, trying to study and trying to understand it. What are some of the elements in Miami that will show up in Hitman 2?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Miami is, I think it's one of the biggest events we've ever created in the game. And in Miami, we have, of course, the race as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
But being this super high detailed sandbox, we also go to great lengths to actually create all the surrounding bits and pieces, like you have here, backstage area. Of course, we also have that in Miami. So pits and paddocks, there's an emergency room, and so on. So all the facilities needed in order for you to kind of make your own way through the mission and take advantage of the locations and all the different disguises and items you stumble upon as you move in closer to your targets.
And in terms of mechanics, I know that there's going to be a lot of the familiar feels, but what are some of the brand new mechanics that are in Hitman?
Yeah, some of the new stuff is, for instance, the crowds we just saw here in Miami. First of all, there's more than ever. Yeah, we're close to 2,000 people now in the scenes, and on top of that, we also introduced a new crowd mechanic where you can dip into the crowd if you get in trouble. So as long as they are not fleeing or running away, then they're there for you to hide in. So in case you get chased by guards. Another new thing is the picture-in-picture mechanic where you get information about what's going on other places in the level. So if you're setting up traps and stuff like that, you can kind of keep track of where the important characters are. And last but not least, we have the fan favorite, which is the sniper briefcase is back. But this time it's not only for sniper rifles, it's also for all the other things you want to carry around kind of without causing too much attention to yourself.
And I want to ask about some of the weapons and the disguises that have been showing up throughout these trailers.
Yeah, we go to great lengths. I think the theme of this showing is going to be the fish. It's really it's a studio favorite. We're having a lot of laughs at that, right? And then of course you just saw it in the kitchen as a frying pan. So we all know the kitchen is the most dangerous room in your house, right?
Yeah,
so
of course.
Also counts in Hitman.
And I want to ask about some of my favorite content from Hitman, things like elusive targets, limited time events. Will those be making a comeback?
Absolutely. So there's still going to be escalations for you to kind of challenge the game in many different ways. There's going to be challenge packs, again, new challenge for you. And then, of course, the elusive targets that pop up for a short period of time only. And you have one shot at this or, go bust.
As my final question, the expected question, when does Hitman 2 come out?
Hitman 2 comes out November 13, and if you pre-order right now...
Oh, good. All these fucking games coming out literally within days of each other.
And also, for the first time in the franchise, you can...
Yeah, let's release it right next to fucking Fallout 76. That's a good idea.
I'm super looking forward to Hitman 2.
Great idea.
I might be the worst Hitman ever, but I try hard. Now, Jacob, I'm going to thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to escort you off to the right. So you're going to rush off this way, because coming in from the left, for the first time ever, vaguely nearby me, it's the co-host, Frankie. Come here, Frankie.
They let me come down from the balcony for good behavior.
Excellent. Well, Frankie, we did it. The PC Gaming Show is done. Thank you so much for joining us to host this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for all of you who came out to the Wiltern and joined us today. It was a blast. Thanks to Twitch chat. I know that everything you said was appropriate and intelligently thought out.
Oh, God, no.
And of course,
almost
this
definitely
year,
not.
Curating even more great PC games from the Facebook booth in E3 South Hall. Last, and of course not least, a huge thank you to all our wonderful sponsors who let the PC Gaming Show come back for a 4th straight year. They are Hi-Res Studios, Digital Extremes, Archangel Hellfire, Team 17, Stardock Entertainment, Acer, Predator, Improbable, Oculus Rift, Drake's Cakes, Tripwire, Frontier Developments, and Square Enix. We hope you have a wonderful E3 and go play some damn video games. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Right, so I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to watch the Sony one tomorrow. I'm not going to watch it live because I'm not going to make it. So I'll say goodbye. I don't have the energy to be creative. Bye. That's it. We're done. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.